Some cars aren't just bad buys, they're nightmares waiting to happen. In 2025, there are cars that'll break down early, drain your wallet with endless repairs, and lose value faster than anything else on the road. These are the cars that you'll regret buying in 2025, and if one of them is on your shopping list, think twice, because the regret starts the second you drive it off the lot. And the first one on this list is a car that proves popular doesn't always mean reliable. You see them everywhere, but under the hood, it's a ticking time bomb. At number 10, the Nissan Rogue. The Nissan Rogue might look like a safe bet. It's everywhere. Family driveways, rental car lots, even topping sales charts. But here's the ugly truth. Behind the popularity is one of the biggest traps you can ever fall into. Owners call it a ticking time bomb, and for good reason. The Rogue CVT transmission is infamous. It shudders, slips, and when it fails, you can't even rebuild it. You're stuck paying thousands for a full replacement, and guess what? It will fail. But that's not the only problem. The Rogue's turbocharged 3-cylinder might sound high-tech at the dealership, but in real life, it's fragile. Internal damage, knocking noises, complete engine failures. These are not rare stories. These are everyday complaints. Even the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has investigated these issues. That's how widespread they are. When the government starts poking around, you know it's bad. So what does that mean for you? Owning a Rogue is like playing Russian roulette with your wallet. It's not a question if it will break, it's when it will break. And when it does, the repair bills will make you regret ever signing those papers. The Nissan Rogue is proof that popularity doesn't equal reliability. If you buy one in 2025, don't say you weren't warned. The Rogue proves that popularity can be dangerous, but if you think Nissan's problems are bad, wait until you see what Jeep has been cooking up. Because the next car takes breakdowns and frustrations to a whole new level. The Jeep Cherokee has the name, the history, and the reputation for adventure, but it's become one of the worst SUVs or crossovers you can buy, and one you'll be upset with almost immediately after buying. Owners complain about transmission failures, electrical issues, and endless visits to the service department. But the real disaster is the hybrid 4xe versions. Jeep promised innovation. Instead, they deliver unreliability, battery issues, sudden shutdowns, and even fire risks that have plagued these models. Mechanics describe working on them as guesswork. Constant software glitches, unexplained warning lights, and part shortages keep owners stranded for weeks at a time. Imagine buying a brand new SUV that spends more time in the shop than in your driveway. That's the Jeep Cherokee 4xe. It's not just frustration, it's expensive. Repairs on the 4xe hybrid system cost thousands. Combine that with Jeep's almost shaky reliability record, you've got a recipe for disaster. So while Jeep's commercials show freedom, trails, and adventures, the reality is very different. The Cherokee, especially the 4xe, is the kind of car that'll chain you to repair bills and leave you wondering why you didn't buy something that actually lasts. The Cherokee shows how promises of innovation can backfire, but what happens when you pay luxury prices and still get budget car problems? It's exactly what Infiniti has been selling, and it's left owners furious. The Infiniti XQ50 was supposed to be Nissan's luxury crown jewel. Sleek styling, high-tech features, and a premium badge. But peel back the leather and chrome, you'll find the same fragile engine and CVT problems that plagued the Nissan Rogue. Yes, you heard that right. Infiniti took Nissan's nightmare and slapped it into a luxury body. The result is a car that costs twice as much to buy and just as much to fix. That's not luxury, that's robbery. Consumer Reports gave the QX50 some of the lowest reliability scores in its class. Owners complain about complete engine failures before 50,000 miles, transmissions that die without warning, and electrical glitches that dealerships can't even diagnose. Resale value is in freefall. Buy a QX50 today and watch thousands vanish in depreciation the moment you drive it off the lot. In 2025, it isn't just one of the most unreliable luxury SUVs, it's one of the worst investments you can make. So if you see a shiny QX50 on the lot with a tempting discount, remember this: the only luxury about it is the size of the repair bills. For everyone else, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Infiniti proves that the luxury badge doesn't guarantee reliability, but sometimes it's not even about luxury. Sometimes the problem starts with a car that's supposed to be tough and adventurous, but can't even make it out of the driveway. When Ford brought back the Bronco name, people were excited. It was supposed to mean rugged, dependable, built for outdoors, but the Bronco Sport has been one headache after another. Under the hood, it uses a 1.5-liter EcoBoost engine and has caused chaos. Cracked fuel injectors force massive recalls, because in the worst cases, they could cause engine fires. Imagine buying a brand new SUV and the thing has to go back to the dealership because it might literally catch fire. And even if that doesn't happen, the problems keep coming. Owners report overheating, turbo failures, and engines that just shut down. Ford's replaced so many of them under warranty that even loyal customers are losing patience. Here's the bottom line: the Bronco Sport looks tough on the outside, but inside is fragile. Instead of heading for the trails, too many owners are heading straight back to the dealership. If you want adventure, this isn't the SUV to trust. The Bronco Sport showed us that adventure turns into frustration fast, but at least that's a toy for a weekend warrior. The next car is even worse because it's supposed to carry families safely every day, and instead it's been a nightmare for parents. The Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid looked great on paper. A plug-in minivan with modern tech, fuel savings, and room for the whole whole family, but in reality, it's been one of the most unreliable family haulers on the road. Owners have dealt with hybrid system malfunctions, engines that shut down mid-drive, and electrical problems that leave the van sitting at the dealership for weeks. Some reports even mention fires linked to the hybrid battery, and that's the last thing any parent wants to worry about. And the recalls keep piling up. Chrysler has had to drag thousands of these vans back to fix safety issues, but the problems just don't go away. Mechanics often admit they're stumped, which means families are stuck waiting, sometimes for months, with no van and no solutions. When you buy a minivan, you're buying a peace of mind. You're trusting that it'll carry your kids safely and keep running when you need it the most. The Pacifica Hybrid doesn't deliver on that promise. Instead, it's become a symbol of how rushing technology into a family car can backfire in the worst way. The Pacifica Hybrid proves that a family van can let you down when it matters most. But the next one stings even more, because these are America's most trusted workhorses. Trucks that have built their reputation on toughness, but lately have been falling apart. Yes, you heard that right. The Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra have been pickup truck legends for decades, but recent models have plagued with serious problems. Problems so bad they sparked a class action lawsuits. At the center of it all is GM's cylinder deactivation technology. On paper, it was supposed to save fuel. In reality, it's called catastrophic lifter failures that can destroy the engine. We're talking about trucks shutting down on the highway, owners stuck with repair bills in the thousands, and in many cases, complete engine replacements. And it doesn't just stop there. Transmission issues, rough shifting, and reliability problems have spread across GM's full-size lineup, from Silverados to Sierras to Tahoes, Yukons, and even the Cadillac Escalade. Imagine buying a brand new truck expecting decades of dependable service, only to have it die before the warranty's even up. For many owners, it's not a what if, that's reality. The Silverado and Sierra used to symbolize durability. Today, too many of them symbolize frustration, lawsuits, and engines that just don't last. The Silverado and Sierra show that even the biggest trucks can crumble under bad engineering. But what about the cheapest new car you can buy? A company you probably didn't even know still existed. On paper, it's a bargain. In reality, it's more of a trap. If you're finding this list useful, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got more videos breaking down the cars worth buying and the ones that'll drain your wallet, so you can make the right choice before you step foot in a dealership. The Mitsubishi Mirage is marketed as America's most affordable new car. Around 16 grand brand new, it looks like a deal, especially when used car prices are sky high. But the Mirage proves that sometimes cheap is very, very expensive. The owners report constant problems, transmission failures, weak engines that burn out early, and electrical gremlins that show up before the first year of ownership. Consumer Reports gave it one of the lowest reliability scores in its entire segment. But here's the real kicker. Nobody wants them used. Dealerships can't move them. In some cases, the car loses a third of its value in the first year. Imagine buying a budget car and watching it turn into a money pit that nobody else will touch. The Mirage was supposed to be an answer for budget-conscious buyers. Instead, it's one of the worst cars you can buy in 2025, because no matter how cheap it is up front, it costs far more in the long run. The Mirage shows that cheap cars can be money pits, but the next brand proves the opposite. Even gorgeous, expensive cars can be disasters once you try and live with them. Alfa Romeo builds some of the most beautiful cars in the world. The Giulia sedan and the Stelvio SUV turns heads everywhere they go. They handle like true performance machines, with sharp steering and engines that sound incredible. But here's the problem, they don't last. Consumer Reports and owner forums are filled with complaints, electrical issues, engine problems, constant warning lights, and software glitches that leave drivers stranded. One owner described his Giulia as the most beautiful car I've ever had and the most unreliable. Many Alfa Romeo owners report weeks, sometimes months, waiting for parts because dealerships are few and far between. That means a single breakdown could take your car off the road for most of the season. The result is stunning cars that sit in repair shops instead of on the road. Used values drop fast because buyers know their reputation. On paper, they're dream cars. In reality, they're maintenance nightmares. Alfa Romeo shows how a car can look like a dream but drive you crazy. But the next one is even more controversial because it's a brand that's supposed to change everything. Instead, it's leaving thousands of owners disappointed. Tesla promised the future of driving, cutting-edge technology, incredible performance, and zero emissions. But the reality for many Model Y and Model S owners, quality control nightmares, endless service appointments, and resale market that's crashing hard. The Model Y quickly became one of Tesla's best sellers, but owners report panel gaps, misaligned trim, rattles, and failing electronics, all in cars that are brand new. Then there's the Model S Plaid. On paper, it's one of the fastest sedans ever made, but stories of steering yokes failing, software glitches, and sudden breakdowns have even made die-hard Tesla fans nervous. And here's the harsh truth. Tesla's resale values are tanking. For the first time ever, used Teslas are selling for less than the average used car in America. Imagine paying luxury prices only for your car's value to collapse harder than any rival brand. Tesla still has its fans, but for many buyers in 2025, the shine has worn off. If you're thinking about one, know this. You're not just buying a futuristic EV. You might be buying months of service delays, expensive repairs, and a car worth far less than you expected. Tesla showed that even the future can fall apart fast. But the final car on this list is an old story, a luxury flagship that looks like success but ends up draining bank accounts. At number 1, the BMW 7 Series. The BMW 7 Series has always been the ultimate symbol of German luxury. Sleek design, powerful engines, cutting-edge tech, but behind the image is one of the worst financial traps you can buy in 2025. The 7 Series is infamous for brutal maintenance costs and constant failures once it's out of warranty. Electronic suspensions, complicated turbo systems, iDrive glitches. Every feature that makes it advanced also makes it fragile. When it breaks, the bill is staggering. We're not talking about a few $100. A single repair can cost thousands, and an engine replacement more than even a used car. Even basic maintenance like brakes and sensors can cost double or triple what you pay on another luxury sedan. And resale, forget it. Used 7 Series models drop in value faster than almost any other luxury car because the buyer knows the risk. What looks like a bargain at the dealership is often the financial time bombs just waiting to go off. The 7 Series proves that sometimes prestige comes with a price. For most people, that price is way too high. So there you have it. The cars that look tempting in 2025 but end up costing more than they're worth. From the Nissan Rogue to the BMW 7 Series, these models that break down, lose value, and leave their owners frustrated. If you want peace of mind, avoid all of these cars. And if you want to know which cars are actually worth keeping, check out our video on the most reliable sedans you should never sell. Because in today's market, knowing what to buy and what to avoid is the difference between saving money and wasting it.